Hello everyone, welcome back to the Dollhouse. Yes, may I be the first to admit it, I'm a thief. This concept originally came from TheDollDaddy, who I adore, so thank you to him for being so creative, and sorry for stealing your brainchild. An anti-haul, for those of you who don't know already, is a list of things that someone has decided not to purchase. In my opinion, personal taste is a huge factor when determining what dolls you like and don't like, so I thought it would be fun to talk about Bratz dolls that I'm not personally interested in buying for my collection. Without any further delay, let's get into today's list. I may be getting a little ahead of myself because the first two dolls in today's anti-haul are not even available to pre-order yet, and for now, they're just prototypes, but I can still say with nearly 100% certainty that I will not be interested in the rumored Series 3 Reproduction Dana and Tiana dolls. The reason why is simply because these two don't fit in with the rest of my dolls. I am collecting specific lines, so for this reason, they are on today's list. I will say, however, that I am very excited for the Reproduction Funk Out Fiona doll, and of course, the Campfire Felicia doll, which I believe is the most anticipated Bratz doll of the year. But let's get back to the topic of Bratz dolls I don't want. The next dolls in this anti-haul are the Reproduction Pretty and Punk Chloe, Megan, and Eaton dolls. I once owned a Pretty and Punk Chloe, but I sold her because I didn't like how she looked. I've never liked the Megan from this line, and I don't collect Bratz boys, so that's why Chloe, Megan, and Eaton are on this list. I just don't like them, but I do like the Reproduction Yasmine and the Reproduction Jade doll. And I also like the idea of having a Pretty and Punk Sasha too, and personally speaking, I think Sasha's Pretty and Punk prototype looks fierce. So I don't dislike the entire line, just some of the dolls, and I know my wallet is going to thank me for it because I'm almost positive that the Bratz dolls that will be coming in 2024 are going to rob me of all my available funds. I have no idea what dolls they will be releasing in 2024, but I'm going to assume that I will be interested in buying at least 3 Bratz dolls next year. So my unwillingness to purchase these 3 is going to help my wallet out a little bit. There is a pair of dolls on this list that are currently being sold as a 2-pack that I won't be purchasing, and that would be the Tweevils. Price is a huge factor for me right now when deciding on which dolls to buy, and right now, the Tweevils are just too expensive where I live. I also don't like Kirsty and Casey as characters anymore, which could be a separate video in itself, but when it comes to the dolls, I don't like articulated Bratz bodies that much, and in my opinion, their outfits accentuate their articulated joints. I know, I previously mentioned that I might buy these dolls, and I also fully understand that not liking the Tweevils is an unpopular opinion in this community, but I do not like the Tweevils, and after re-watching the TV series recently, I have come to find out that I don't think the way the Tweevils insult each other is funny anymore, so for that reason, and the fact that they're so expensive, they will not be joining my collection. Another pair of dolls I won't be purchasing is Moalola Jade or Felicia. I never thought I'd say that I'd be passing up a Felicia doll, but here we are. I have tried to get into their concepts, but I just can't get behind the bold primary colors and the striking contrast between them. These dolls, no offense, look like they were designed by McDonald's, and the red and yellow combination is just a little too much for me. Also, may I add that I'm tired of seeing Felicia being made with yellow as a main color in her design. I feel like we got enough of Felicia in yellow during the Holiday Felicia release. I am also not a fan of their teeth or Jade's heterochromia. I think they were well done, but they are just not the aesthetic I was hoping for. I never thought I'd say this about a Bratz doll, but they're just too edgy for my taste. The next dolls on this list would be the Cult Gaia Chloe and Yasmine dolls. Surprise, surprise, there are more articulated dolls in my anti-haul, but I actually don't mind the articulated features with these particular dolls. I also think the way that their faces look and their outfits are really well done, but I can't justify paying the price that these dolls are being sold for in Canada. When I learned that the dolls were retailing for $90 Canadian, I was pretty upset about it. I think they're pretty, but I just can't justify the high price tag because the dolls come with 2 outfits and very few accessories, and I personally feel like way too much money was spent on the packaging and not the production of the doll itself. I don't think these dolls should retail for more than $50 no matter what country they're being sold in, but maybe that's just my opinion. To me, though, they're the exact same as regular Bratz dolls, but they come with a much higher price tag. Their price alone is the reason why they're in today's anti-haul, and it is the only reason. I like these dolls, but I don't like their price tag, and that's why they're on today's anti/anti-haul list. There is a single Series 2 doll on my anti-haul list, and that is Dylan. As I mentioned previously, I don't collect Bratz boys. That's the only reason why Dylan is on today's list. I think he was done well though. Then, when it comes to the girls' night out dolls, I'm not going to be purchasing Chloe or Yasmine. I personally think that these reproduction dolls were very well done, but I am not a fan of their outfits, and I also feel like I already have quite a few Chloe and Yasmine dolls in my collection. I have already purchased Sasha and Dana, and I would still like to buy the reproduction Jade doll, but I haven't yet. Finally, the last dolls in this anti-haul are the GCDS dolls. I know they're old news now, but the last dolls on this list are the GCDS Sasha and Yasmine, and I'm going to talk about them because I did not think of commenting on either of these dolls when they first came out. Once again, I struggle to justify the high price point that these dolls are being sold at, and my reasons for disliking them essentially mirror the reasons why I'm not happy about the Cult Gaia Chloe and Yasmine dolls. Like I have said previously in this video, to me, these dolls are the same as regular Bratz dolls, but they come with a much higher price tag. I know I'm going to sound like a crabby old lady when I say this, but I miss the old days when the Bratz doll clothing was designed by real designers, sometimes famous designers like Jean B, and there wasn't a particularly high price tag attached to these dolls. They were sold for the same price as every other Bratz doll. Now that I have brought up the GCDS dolls, we have reached the end of today's video. The estimated total of money I have saved myself by not being interested in these dolls, if you're curious to know, is roughly $700 Canadian. I know it's hard to believe that buying all of these dolls would cost roughly that much, but it's true because the cheapest doll on this anti-haul list is Dylan, and he retails for $40 Canadian. And I can say this with certainty because someone recently posted in a Canadian Bratz Facebook group to tell everyone that the Pretty and Punk dolls were selling for $55 before taxes at GameStop locations in Ontario. so I know for a fact that Dylan is the cheapest doll on today's list. Although the price in Canadian dollars for the Series 3 reproduction dolls has not yet been confirmed, I'm going to assume that these dolls are going to cost at least $40 where I live. Anyways, if you have watched up until this point of the video, I'd like to thank you for your time and your viewership. If you agree with any of the opinions I shared in today's video, please leave a like on this video to show the algorithm that this video is worth watching, or leave a comment down below sharing your thoughts on my anti-haul. Until next time, I hope you take care. Goodbye for now.